In Sweden, then, we use a so-called waste hierarchy when we look at waste to see how we can reduce waste and handle waste. The first priority of this waste hierarchy is to prevent that waste happens at all. Preventing waste has the greatest benefits for the environment, both in reducing the volume and the amount of hazardous materials. Preventing waste occurs at several stages. One is at the consumption stage. Will you consume or will you not consume? Another is that a point where we will not see it as consumers. It's at the production stage. All of you probably have a mobile phone, or maybe several mobile phones. As an example, they might weigh about 200 grams. To create one mobile phone creates 86 kilos of waste. So expanding the prevention of waste hierarchy or the concept to the production stage can lead to great environmental benefits. The second stage in the waste hierarchy is reuse. This is about identifying things that have been thrown away, but that can, with little effort, be made to be used again. In Sweden, a lot of the recycling centers have special means so that you can give away waste and accept materials for reuse. Some municipalities, they also have plans to develop this further to make recycling centers where you can repair, you can rent, you can borrow, you can exchange and share materials that you might think be waste, but that can actually be used. Today I have a newly bought suit on, but other days I actually use my second-hand suits that I bought very cheaply at some places. The idea about this step, reuse, is to change the way we look at waste. Perhaps it is actually not waste, perhaps it is something that you can use. The third step in the waste hierarchy in Sweden is recycling. We have made some changes in Sweden and we try to improve this all the time. And one of the changes is that we will go to more curbside neighborhood collection of packaging and recyclable paper. And a lot of the household waste in Sweden is not correctly recycled. And there's a lot of improvements to be made there to make sure that you can recycle more of the things you throw away in your household garbage. Up to 60% of household garbage is incorrectly sorted. The fourth level of the waste hierarchy in Sweden is energy recovery. This is if you cannot prevent the waste, you cannot reuse it, and you cannot recycle it, then you can use it for energy recovery. I have to be honest and say that energy recovery, it means burning. Burning waste may not sound very good, but a lot of it is actually used for heating and electricity. And the heat that's produced, as one example, can fulfill the heating needs of almost 1.5 million apartments in Sweden. Finally, the last step, if you cannot in any other way take care of the waste, it's landfill. Fortunately, over the last decades, we have been able to reduce the amount that goes to landfill, so now today, less than 1% goes to landfill. It's not free to collect garbage. And in Sweden, I just want to mention that in Sweden, most municipalities, they use a basic charge, and that goes to the households, plus a weight-based charge. And this is to incentivize households to reduce their waste. On average, Swedish households pays about 300,000 Korean won per year for waste collection. From a government perspective, we're happy to talk about laws and regulations and such things, but I also would like to take a few moments to talk about some interesting technological developments. Several municipalities in Sweden are developing new ways and better ways of capturing the energy that comes out from when you burn waste. They're also finding new ways of separating hazardous materials from waste. We're looking at increasing automation to reduce manual labor related to garbage collection. In some new neighborhoods in Stockholm that are being built, they have installed kind of underground vacuum collection waste systems. These are actually quite cool. I've seen some of them. You just put it in a shaft and then it disappears or kind of sucked underground. And then it's taken care of in that way to reduce the amount of space taken up on ground level and also reduce bad odors from space in the public area, so to speak. We also see opportunities for using AI and big data to optimize garbage collection in various ways as well. So this is something that I believe is coming more in the near future. Now we talked about the waste hierarchy, how waste is being collected and managed, but who is doing this?